record.
Okay.
Glad everyone can join us. I forgot to turn on at the very beginning, but we were just chatting. We're trying to decide the best way to communicate who has gotten which postcard and all that, so that everybody understands if something got lost or not sooner rather than later. So that's where we're at, just to catch up what you missed before I turned on the record. Do we want to just do a quick loop around and everybody say hey and how it's going and how they felt about the card so far? Is that what you want to do? What does everybody want to do?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I guess I'll start since I'm kind of pushing things along here.
And then include whether or not you sent the card. That will
right, exactly. You can get like a full little update on everything. So my shiitake farm is doing about 4 to 6 pounds a day right now, so it's really cranking them out. So mushrooms are definitely where anyone who loves mushrooms needs to be here. So I wish you were in my mushroom area. So I've been working really hard on those, so that's been fun. So I'm very motivated, and I do have my marbling set up, and I'm teaching a workshop for the weekend. So I have to prep for that, which means marbling's going to start happening soon anyway. So I'm going to push it through. It's going to get done. It's going to be marbled paper on one side with mushrooms drawn into the marbling and some interesting shiitake happens kind of conversation. Yeah, like shiitake happens is a mushroom kind of cliche joke that's out there. But the thing is it doesn't always happen. There are times when you as a farmer don't get what you want. So shit doesn't always happen the way it's supposed to. So it's more of a reflection on that and the fact that you can still enjoy these mushrooms when the shit hits the fan, basically. It's going to be said in a poetic, artsy way, but more or less that's where we're headed.
Well, that was poetry to me.
Right there.
Good. Yeah, so shitloads of shiitake.
Yeah, shitloads of shiitake. So what are you teaching?
I'm teaching paper marbling, the Turkish form with a modified acrylics on all kinds of papers. And it's a 2-day. Yeah, it's 2 days. So you get to really, sit into your vat for a while. So these people will be making a lot of paper. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Christina, where are you again?
I live south of Boston by 8 miles, and this class is in Lexington, which is the city that Anya, who's also in our group here, used to live in. She just moved north into New Hampshire, but I teach at Lexington Arts and Crafts Society as one of the many. I teach at a lot of places where I just come and do some marbling or just do like a one-day book class, like pick a structure. So I don't really like to do long surveys because they don't run and it just doesn't ever seem to work out right. So I do a lot of these shorter term weekend or intensives. Yeah, and I just kind of jump around and do different things. I do it at the museums in town and around colleges, continuing ed departments at some of those art schools. Yeah.
Very cool.
Who wants to go next? How about Lorraine? Lorraine, I love your outdoor location.
Oh yes. Well, I sent my postcard with my garden on it, so I figured I had it. When I've been working all day, I'm an attorney and I'm still working. Thanks, Gail.
Yeah, definitely. There you go.
I'm working more or less part-time, so this is my first outside today. So yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's very good.
Those were fun. And then I should.
What does land?
So then we do have we have 2 red Adirondack chairs back here that were the basis for my chair, for my stamp.
What does land of ALA mean?
It's supposed to be Oz, A-H. Yeah,
like an
and
exhale.
that's a stamp I've had for a long time, and I just thought it was kind of fun because we're the land of enchantment, so I thought that was kind of a fun take on that. So yeah,
yours was rare because it didn't have any damage, not even on this edge.
Oh my gosh,
no damage at all.
A lot of mine were fine too. There weren't that many of mine that got hurt at all.
Yeah, the ones I've gotten have been in great shape.
Yeah. Well, this one this is from Trina, And you see how it just has this kind of edge damage
yeah.
here?
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've gotten that on a number of them.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, mine look good. I really didn't have much trouble.
Good.
Guess that's part of the adventure of mailing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Adds
Well, I have to
character.
say, I did a test one, and when it came back, a little bit of the label with my little message on it had curled up. So I went back and re-glued everything with PVA to make sure that it was really glued down. So hopefully maybe that helped.
Is
Yeah,
anybody
that's
using
the
double
only
tap?
part of mine is it peeled back here a little bit, but not a
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah.
I know it's funny because I was worried about the outside edge, but then I realized that they feed it through so it catches the inside edge. So
Well, yours came with all kinds of other labels on it. One across the front, which I could peel off, and one across the back, which I could peel
Oh.
off.
Hmm, hmm.
But otherwise, it's in great shape.
Isn't
it's that
fun?
remote
They're all
location,
different.
Kathy, that you live in.
None of mine have labels at all. I
I
didn't
know
know
I
I
haven't
on
got
any
mine
of
either.
them. None of them
Yeah,
have
this
labels.
and yours, Lorraine, got postmarked on the front. It got postmarked on the bottom front. It's just interesting. So I've got
It
lots of
is,
extra
isn't it?
squiggle
Yeah.
lines.
They wanted to
Oh.
make sure it really got to you.
I guess so.
I hadn't
And that's-
noticed that about
That's what we're
them.
doing.
Very cool.
Were you saying
Very
you were talking about how people are keeping track of things? Were you saying? Did you say?
We were trying to
Yeah.
figure out an idea, and I think
Well-
Kat, explain it again.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, there you go, Edge. That works.
That's
Yeah,
what I did
so-
too.
This is
Yeah,
the
so
list. of-
basically
Wow.
what I'm thinking of doing, Edge, is doing that, but in a digital format so that everyone can share it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so that everyone can say, I've sent mine, I've received what you sent, kind of thing.
Yeah.
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll try it. We'll see if it works. Might not. But-
Yeah.
I-
And we should
I-
probably have another meeting on the 15th and just hear where the problems are. Right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Or a little later, maybe, if you're mailing yours on the 14th, then
Oh,
Maybe a
yeah,
little
yeah, you're
later.
right. Probably just a couple of days later would be fine. Yeah, maybe we can hammer out when that would be now or before we.
Well, I've received 10 already.
You have.
Mhm.
I've got 9.
I have 9.
I've gotten 8.
I have
I have 8. Yeah, so there's
I have
probably still
okay.
in transit.
Okay,
I
so
have
I'm on
8.
par with everyone else. What,
you-
I'll tell you why I was anxious about it and keep like wondering, like, I have this, I'm working on this project about comparative thought. Like a lot of people seem to have to compare their opinion with someone else's. Or, you know what I mean? It's like when you're a baby, they do these percentages of growth and development, and there are always charts about how well you're doing. So I don't know why, but I decided I needed to do a book project on this. So it's gotten into my head. So I'm always now trying to ask people what their experience is by comparison. And I don't know why. It's become an obsession. And I felt like, I really felt like, that Anya, I had lunch with Anya, and I had 3 and she had 7. And it was like, what is going on? And I just had this like weird, thing because of this project I'm working on. Maybe it's a good thing I'm working on this project. I don't know. We'll see.
So today I met with a friend who's in a different group. She's got 3.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're doing
So
good.
maybe
we're
people
doing
are
good.
gonna go later. Yeah.
Well, I sent all of mine out and everybody but one person got it already. And except for Jane Sprague, I had to send a second one. That was the only one though. Everything else arrived fine.
Yeah, yours was the first I got.
Mhm. Yeah.
Several of the members of NEBA told me recently we had one of our general meetings. We take a break for July and August and then resume again in September. And so we had a last meeting and she was like, I don't know, I've only gotten like 2. And so she was wondering what was going on too, which I thought was interesting. And a couple of them had already gotten like 12. It was like, what? Yeah. So I think it's all over the planet.
The state of the mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else wants
It
to
is
talk
fun to
about
get them
their
up.
project and how it went?
Mine went in the mail today, so
cool.
check in a few days. So yay, got them done.
I'm working
let's-
on mine. They'll be in the mail tomorrow or the next day, and I'm almost done.
Cool.
And I'll let everybody know.
Hey,
Let's see, I got Lisa's yesterday and somebody else's. Lisa, which one did you do?
I'm Escalante, the,
Okay, I got the Escalante, and then I also got scuba diving in San Diego, the fish.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Garibaldi.
got both of those. I got those 2 yesterday. Yeah.
Loving,
working
I'm very partial.
Oh.
And I know this has absolutely nothing to do with mushrooms, but there's some feeling mojo that's going to go along with this and my mushrooms for some reason.
Oh, that's
This
beautiful.
is Trina. Lovely.
Oh, I
You
haven't gotten
did
Trina's
everyone
yet.
different? Is that what Trina? Unmute yourself. So
Yeah.
did you do each one was unique?
Yes.
Very
Yeah, I
nice.
mailed out the last for this group and for group 11, and every card was different in each of them.
Yeah.
wow, that was my goal, but I didn't make it.
Mine will be different, but it's actually one vat pull. Because each corner, each piece is in a different spot, so it won't exactly be the same. But yeah, I've been really having fun with going back to some of the PDFs and thinking ahead, because she's already given, Lori's already, released some of these given us a preview of these book structures. How many people did actually go to the Zoom meetings, and then how many people, actually looked at the videos? What a great resource this has been. Lisa.
Yeah, I've done a few, but not all of them. I want to see all of them, but I haven't caught up yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lisa, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, yeah, the Zooms are wonderful, and I attended this morning's meeting with Jane Sprague with creative writing, which was just really very rich. I mean, she put a lot in for an hour. And then Julie Hawkins done a really cool book structure too that's on video. So it's an amazing resource, what San Diego Book Arts has done. And since I'm talking, I'll just keep talking. I sent mine. My mail is sometimes a week, takes a week just for first class letter, and it travels everywhere in Utah, and then it finally finds Salt Lake City, and then it goes out to wherever it goes. So I actually asked the post office, and it's a small post office, rural post office, to hand stamp, do a cancel stamp on my cards. Did that come through at all?
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I'm gonna have to thank her. Great, because that, she has to take time out of her day to do that. So thanks for showing me that. And then my cards were, I've been trying to learn how to do reduction lino cut printing. So that's what the rock is, and I couldn't figure out how to do reduction for the blue. So I painted in the blue with watercolor, and I was concerned that if the cards got wet, they would bleed. So I'm not sure if anybody's cards got wet.
No,
Mine is completely fine.
Yeah, they're
no
fine.
dings, no tears, no corners even
great.
messed up. The corners are even good.
Great.
Yeah, completely fine.
Mine got a little dinged up, you can see there, but
Oh,
nothing,
Yeah.
nothing I can't fix.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Mine's
good.
pristine.
Yeah,
It
my
is good.
edges got a little torn too,
Okay.
Oh,
but he
okay.
didn't mess it up. The front was perfect.
So they'll be fine for your book binding. So, okay, that's great. And what else was, I had something I wanted to ask, but I don't know what it is right now, so I'll ask later. But mine
So
are out, and I think counting mine, I think I have 7. So like I say, mine will dribble in later.
You
So
have
I
the
did, so
word
Lisa, you did
"ah"
watercolor,
in
I
your
did some
write-up.
watercolor. Has anybody had problems with doing postcards with watercolor and having it run?
The only
I
thing
never have
know-
had one do that myself, but
Okay.
if somebody spills something, obviously, it's paper art, so it's
Well, right.
gonna have an
right,
issue
yeah.
if it gets wet. Yeah. I mean, just about anything would, more or less,
Yeah.
because it could warp or, yeah, I don't know.
I
Because
sprayed
I
mine
looked to
with
see
an
if they needed to
acrylic.
be sealed, and then I didn't really want to seal them, so I decided
I
I'd take a
sprayed mine
chance.
with an acrylic
Oh, did you?
that has a matte finish, and it hardly shows, but it is a much more robust finish.
I was gonna try that too. I've already bought
It
it.
is
Oh.
protective.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lisa, I just wanted to point out that we were talking about this idea of the land of awe, and you have a note about the fact that in awe of
Mhm.
this, and it's just an interesting thing that's connecting your two pieces right away.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
Tell it differently.
I wanted to chime in because thank you, Lisa, for mentioning that I had done a demo for San Diego Book Arts about, I called it slip knot binding, which is for binding single sheets. And that's on the website of San Diego Book Arts. But a little bit later, another member of this whole project is doing a version she calls Lark's Head binding, which I'm pretty sure is the same thing. I'm looking forward to watching her teach it as well. So there, I think there's a couple of resources for doing that, but it's a great binding for single sheets. Just one page, and it's similar, like think of a Coptic style,
Yeah.
but it's easier than that. And you just, if you want 3 sections of stitching, you have to do them all at once, one after the other with it, 3 sets of threads, for example. But I'm actually planning to do that for the book that I'm thinking about making, because my plan is that if your image came to me vertical, it'll be vertical in the book. But if your image came horizontally, it'll be horizontally, and they'll be bound at 3 points, like down low. And the cover will be 6 by 6. So the cover will cover whether they were tall or whether they were wide. So that's my concept at the moment. But I want to watch the other Lark's Head binding, just to be sure that that's what I want to do.
There's another possible name for that one, and I think it's the heifer hitch stitch. Have you heard of that one?
No, I haven't heard of that.
It looks like the same one. I'm hoping to take the Lark's Head class or
It's
look
on
at the one that you
24th
put
of
out there.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Anyone know Celine Fisher?
I do.
Yeah, she's the teacher. It's June, Thursday, June 24th. Starts at 1 Pacific time. Yeah.
And then since I was talking,
that one, yeah.
since I was talking, I was just going to talk about the card I made, which is the Garibaldi at La Jolla Cove. And I gel matted the heck out of it. In fact, I ended up having to wax them with like a beeswax because they were still so sticky after a week and a half. I'm not very good. I've never done gel matting, used that liquid before, but anyway, so that's why they're thick, and if they're sticky, sorry. But it was fun to do. I spritzed with watercolor. I put watercolor in a spray bottle and did the background of the blue, the blue to look underwater. And I had a foam stamp actually that looked like that seaweed. And then I just did that in a kind of a greeny gold paint color plus some gold metallic paint combined. So you kind of get that. And ripped a image of a Garibaldi. Gave credit, if you noticed, on my spine or on my backside, it says photo credit. So I did that. And then just wished that you were with me in that experience because it's really fun. So.
Well,
thank
it
you.
came today, Julie, so
Yep.
it looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I was worried that both of ours would be of La Jolla, but they weren't anything the same. So that was
No,
awesome.
and actually, if they look at your picture and look at down in the water, that's where I am, swimming around.
Yeah, there you go. If I
Yeah.
look real close, I can see.
That's
'em,
really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah,
you'd
Julie, I
known-
got yours yesterday and it's in great shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
There's a
It
lot of
traveled well.
blue, and natural tones in this, so they're looking good together. Even I like the red even with it because there's
Well,
some,
if Debbie had known what I was doing, she could have put a few little gold, red, orangey dots in her water.
Darn it. Yeah.
Because you can see them. If you're up on the walkway and you look down and the sun's right and the tide's right, you can actually see the fish swimming
Yeah.
underwater.
Yeah, they're amazing.
I
I've
did
swum
get
with
an
them.
extra cancellation mark on yours. I just saw it, and see it in
Mine
the
too.
skin in the bottom.
On the front?
See
Yes,
it on the,
the
whoops,
wavy
all right,
lines.
right here.
The wavy
Oh,
lines
the
are in the
waves.
sand.
well, a little extra wave action there.
Yeah, it's got extra waves on it. Yeah.
I was gonna ask with that, you said that was one of your original watercolors, and I was wondering how you, you scan it and then shrink it? How do you create the card from an original?
I put it in the scanner and scan it, and then when I go into Photoshop, you can change the size. And so it didn't fit exactly. It's a little bit bigger, it didn't fit exactly to 4x6. So you can see my original signature is on there, but you only see like 4 letters of it because I had to shrink it to fit a 4x6 card. So a part of the painting is missing, but it was as good as I could get. And I had tried, like Dottie, to send a photographic image of when I copied it, but I just couldn't get it in the mail without it just screwing it up terrible. So I just printed it on watercolor paper. And that
Beautiful.
seemed to do better.
Yeah.
So
It's
that was
very
the
nice
best I could come
watercolor.
up with. I'm not very savvy, so that was the best I could do.
Oh, it's lovely.
Perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
came out great.
Very
Yeah.
nice, yes.
And I took Jamila Rufaro's advice and had my cards printed at Moo and did a test card to her, and the surface rubbed off and it wound up with a stripe across the front
That's what I had on mine,
and the
stripes.
back edge peeling off on the right side.
Yeah.
So that's when I decided I really need to put them in envelopes to mail them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fine. But it sure
Well,
is
and
fun
I
in the
don't know
mail.
if Julie signed off or she just turned off her camera, but I have to say that your demo on the book structure was fabulous, and I've used it in 2 or 3 books since then. I watched it back in, I don't know, January or February, whenever you did it. And I
Well, thank-
used it for a book exchange for Paperworks in Tucson too. And it had 24 pages in it. So it works
Wow.
really well, and you can lay it out completely flat, which I really like.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that you're able to use it. I had my phone set up on a baking rack between 2 big boxes to get the picture. I didn't have a very sophisticated video setup. So
No, it worked really well, but you did a really super job. I really appreciated it.
thank you so much.
As everyone, I know Anya's not here. This is Anya's card. Did everybody get Anya's card so far?
Yeah.
Fabulous. Absolutely
This is
fabulous.
actually a real piece of
Yeah.
piano scroll attached to this,
Mm-hmm.
and it made it through.
Yeah.
Mine's
Yeah.
completely unharmed.
How figured how this is gonna go,
Exactly, because that's a real delicate paper.
Yeah, it's like tissue paper, and yet it didn't rip or anything.
It didn't hurt it at all.
So she must have had a really good seal on hers too.
Well, Kathy, did you have real seaweed on here, don't you?
Right. I
Oh,
put real seaweed on mine.
Yeah.
That was a first. I love that.
It's kind of bold, but it was fun to play around with to see if it would work.
Mhm.
So everyone is different because of the pieces of seaweed. And
That's
it's not a
great.
seaweed that you find very often,
How do you
only
s-
occasionally. And I
slice
gave
it
most
thin?
of it to my friend who puts it in watercolor. And her husband is a ceramicist. And when he does raku and other ceramics and puts it on, it gives a beautiful red color on the clay. So I had to beg a little bit back from them to see if it would work.
Do you
Wow.
slice it or it's like a leaf? It looks maybe, is that
Oh,
what?
it's super, super thin, like tissue paper.
Oh, wow. I thought
And
that's what it was.
hairs. I mean, when I gathered it, I
Huh.
washed it all and then put it out on wax paper and tried to dry it flat. But it's really quite thin and fragile.
Huh.
Where did you gather it?
On the beach here by my house.
And where is that?
I live on Camano Island.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Wow, it's amazing.
Oh, sorry, my phone's ringing. I gotta grab it a sec.
Well, it's fun to go out to the mailbox and find all these different kinds of prizes in the mail. They're all different. I love it.
Oh, it is. It's so great to have something positive to
A
have
postcard.
in your mail every day or every
Yeah.
other day. Yeah. It's been fun. And I love all the classes. My membership is just thrilled.
Oh, good.
You know, we're a real new organization, and you're our first real, true, honest to God collaboration. And this is like really well run. And I got a really good feel for how to try to do something like this on a smaller scale to get us started as well. You know, something to
Excellent.
provoke, you know, the membership into doing more outreach and just seeing how everything's done by other people is as an organization. It's nice. It's just good to connect to other people who have the same like mind too, you know?
So do you have a brick and mortar building?
No, we don't. You know, we make our field trips into general meetings, and we meet at special collection. There's an awful lot of special collection libraries in the Boston metro area. I mean, there's
Wow.
just so many of them, like really high end, and they're eager because they're underutilized. And we say, can we, you know, have a viewing? And about 20 of us show up. And we have 65 or so members now. And our membership, our email list is something like 130. So when we say, hey, you want to go to someplace, we on average only get like 20 to 30 tops, and you know, doing it. So it doesn't usually overwhelm a place when we have these like meetings. But they have a lot of big tables, and they have a room, usually a conference room next to most libraries have a conference room. And the Boston Public Library is good. And then we meet outdoors in parks and make fun events out of it. And we really have almost no expenses. You know, it's like really, you know, obviously, you know, websites and all that, you know, postal box and all that kind of stuff.
Great.
But, you know, not having a physical structure.
Great.
If we get bequeathed anything, we've been doing really good with people giving us donations. If we get a big, like somebody says like, you know, wow, we should make this into something bigger, and it really should be, because there isn't anything like it up here. I mean, New York, yeah. I could see it becoming more, obviously. Yeah.
It's exciting.
I'd love to do a book that gets passed around kind of collaboration with our group, where everybody makes like a book and they have to send it to the next person, and it's like keeps going around and around and around, and everybody's working on everybody's books.
Yeah, I did that. It was the first time I had done that. We called it a round robin book, and there were 7 of us, and was Utah, me, then San Diego, and then most everybody else is on the East Coast. So I'm wondering if it's more of an East Coast thing, because it was organized on the East Coast. But it was, yeah, you have timeline, you make your book structure, you send it on, we had a theme. And then everybody adds to it. And since there were 7 of us, it took 7 months. And it was so cool and fun to work in other people's books and see what other people had done. So I love the idea.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Well, the structure that Julie did, the thing that's so great about it is the book can open completely flat.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do something that passes around, then it's a whole lot easier for people to work in it. Because we had an exchange, it was Paperworks, and I made these books and left pages blank if they wanted to add their own things to it as well. In addition to the poetry and the photos I put in it. And I did it with that structure, the slip knot binding, because then if they wanted to add to it, they could open it completely flat to work on it. So that's kind of neat if you want to try something like that.
That's cool. I had a really, really amazing artist book teacher in grad school at the School of Museum of Fine Arts here in Boston. And one of her days that we did that was absolutely my favorite thing to do with groups of people now, as well as what I would think other people might enjoy doing, is you tell people to come up with the pages of a book. That's all you can bring to class, is bring a set number of what you want to bind later on into a book, plain. You get to pick out 3 different mark making tools. Okay, and you get 1 personal ephemera or collectible or some treasured little object that'll fit in the palm of your hands. And you sit it in front of your pile, and everybody's in this big circle around tables, and everybody has their own thing, and everybody's thinking something different. And you give them 5 minutes to react, and then you step to the right. And boom, boom, boom. You're contributing to everybody's contributing to yours.
That's
You get
fun.
the thematic consistency because it's the same paper, the same object, the same tools. And you end up getting this really interesting kind of repeat imaging exploration out of it in a damn quick, because it's over many increments of time, you know? So you can make it as speedy as you want, you know?
Cool.
It's just
So
a fun
Santa Fe Book Arts is right now doing, they have kind of 2 different things. We have 2 different things going on. One is round robin with books, but then the other one is for those of us who don't live close together, exchanging pages that then you can put together in a book. So like 1 month you'll be part of a group of 4 or 5, and that group exchanges pages for that month. And so that's been I've done that a couple of months, and so that was kind of fun too.
A friend of mine has a mail art gal that she exchanges with who's in Germany, and they did a book where they took signatures, and each one would do 1/2 of it, and then they'd send it to the other person and they'd do half.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Then at the end, I'm not sure how they each wound up with enough to make a book. I'm not sure about that part, but they did wind up with enough finished signatures that had both people's work in it to each have a book at the end.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that is a good idea. And I do like the idea of the pages not being bound yet. It's less anxiety on the person that you're sending them to, because they're like, oh, you know how people are, like if they have to write into a book for the first time. Yeah, or a journal. Yeah, I've got a lot of ideas about all this now. And who, Norbag, is that how you say it?
Yeah. Yep,
They
Norbag.
have that Flickr account. I came across your Flickr account. Oh my God. If you guys have not checked that out, you need to. It has like photo galleries of every damn project for like 10 years back. And it gives you some cool ideas. I mean, amazing.
Well, the Flickr gallery is actually pictures of the books. that were
Liquor. I
made.
thought she was saying liquor.
Oh.
Liquor account. What? We're missing out. What?
I'm from Georgia.
Liquor.
I live in New England. So I've got a weird,
But the Flickr
Go
pictures.
ahead.
Okay, the
it's a
Flickr, the
really
Flickr
good
gallery is
resource.
pictures of the books that were exchanged at each meeting, which is a voluntary thing that some people take part in. And so those are the exchange books. And then the blog has the classes.
I haven't found the blog yet. I did do an awful lot of time on that Flickr account because this is like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photos. You
Yeah,
know,
so
and
each
I
month,
put it in our
each month,
newsletter and shared it with my group because then they were all just like, yeah.
yeah, so the way it goes is each month has like a theme. And we actually, everybody contributes 3 ideas for themes at the end of the year. And then they go through and they select 12. Some months are always the same, like Christmas and Valentine's, February.
Yeah.
But then they select the rest of the themes for the year. And then you can do anything you want. But you have a theme to kind of go on.
Yeah.
And the themes can be things like bugs or weather, clouds, love, whatever, all different kinds of ideas. So it leaves you wide open to do whatever you want. And yeah, and it shows in the Flickr gallery how much variety there is.
Oh, it's a beautiful gallery. We do a monthly book art prompt of 3 words, and one member provides the 3 words, and 1 word is descriptive, 1 word is thematic, and 1 word is book binding or technique related. So it's description, theme, and technique. And we do not tell them ahead of time. We show last month's at the meeting and announce the next month's. So they only have a certain amount of time. We don't give it to them up front.
And what do they do with those prompts? Do they create a book or do they do a page? Or?
Most people are creating books out of the prompts. I did a prompt that was bright plant sewn. Bright plant sewn, like some kind of stitch. Right now we have miniature, the word muse, like amusing, muse, and it was 3 M's. Oh shoot, what was the other word? Oh, monotype.
Oh. Well, one reason that we do ours in advance is that we have people like Margaret Beach, who lives in England, and she has the mailing situation. So she likes to do like 5 at a time, 5 months at a time, and then mail them all at once.
Okay, yeah. I'm just wondering because maybe our membership would enjoy knowing more farther ahead. Maybe we generate more interest instead of it being such a slamming and jamming.
Yeah, less stress if you have more time. Yeah.
Kitty's back for a visit.
Yeah, that's Cloud strolling through. His brother Sky is sleeping behind the computer. Can't see him, but he's behind.
So how many postcard book structures have been shown in classes so far?
Well, I was
on
going to
Zoom?
mention, I saw a structure. I don't know that it was shown in class. I get a newsletter from Helen Hebert. She's a paper maker and book artist. And in one of her Sunday papers, there was a structure. It was an accordion fold. And then each page, a frame was cut out. So it looked like an accordion frames. And then something was hung. So you could you can hang your postcard, and so it has movability. That's how I saw that it was structured. And I don't know if it was like attached from the bottom and the top or just from the top. To me, it would be easier if it was just at the top and then you could move it. So I thought that was kind of a neat structure.
The ones I've seen are attached at the top and the bottom, so they're not flopping around, but they turn.
Yeah,
it's more controlled, but you could do it either way.
Yeah.
And I think that the structures that are going to be taught to us don't start happening until after everyone's received.
Yeah.
Well, till after June 15th.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
He's given the PDFs and some links to other videos already. So there is some information out there. I've already printed out all the PDFs on them all. Yeah.
I have 2 structures here that were, one I received in an exchange and one we made in a class. I don't know if they're going to be taught or not. This one, this was made, the class one, and it's a, forget what you call that binding where you can take the stick out.
Piano hinge.
Yeah, piano hinge, right, yeah. And so Mary Elizabeth Nelson taught this one, and the pages have windows, like you were saying, Lisa, but they, instead of suspending anything, they have, they're see-through, that plastic, and then you can
Oh, yeah.
wand in them, and I thought about that one, but I didn't want the cards to be behind plastic. So
Yeah, that's I don't like that either, but it's an interesting pocket, creating like a pocket with the asset.
yeah, so that's an accordion fold, also hinge, and then you just glue or tape your pages, which are, the signatures are folded, with the holes cut. So then you can just put what you want inside of the fold. So you could sort of maybe attach the edges of your card somehow without covering too much of it. And this one is a different kind of binding where the cards are removable. You take the card out to look at it. It's in a slot.
Oh, that's nice.
That is nice.
So there's an accordion fold, and then these little parts that have the slot are attached to the accordion. They're sewn into the valleys. And I'm
Is
not
that
quite,
called a cap slot?
what's that?
Cap
I don't know.
slot? This might actually be one of our classes, this one.
Okay.
It is.
I'm not sure what it's called because I got it and it didn't have a colophon with it, so I'm not sure what it's called.
This is one of our classes, I think. Excellent.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to do something that's going to obscure too much of the card, that's
Yeah.
kind of cool. You could take them out.
And this one's nice because it lays flat, so you
Yeah,
can,
look at that.
you know.
This is a good one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like that.
There was a few more angles of it up close.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just want to get a good look. I want to get a little better look at it. Yeah.
So let's see, I don't know if you can see there's an accordion in there, I think, and you see how this two-sided thing is sewn into the valley of the accordion?
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's folded in such a way, let me take these out and show you. It's folded so that you have this kind of
Yeah, this is it. I think we have instructions for this already. Well, the PDF covers some of it, but I bet the class will be very helpful.
Yeah.
'Cause it looks a little complicated, not too much, but a little bit.
not too much, but it's doable.
That's a really neat one. I think I like that one. Yeah.
And when you say we have the PDF, is that through our group or
Yeah,
what?
Laurel's last email to everyone
Oh, it's in,
talked about the upcoming dates and the lineup of who was going to be doing what, and I guess
And
she was
there's
trying to
PDF.
wet there's links right in there already.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I went ahead and printed just so I'd have
He's
them.
very thorough.
This is what I'm talking about. She's taught me a lot as a leader. She's really something else.
Yeah, she's
Give her a big
amazing.
wet kiss when next time we see her.
And
I'm going to see her on Friday. I'll tell her that.
I wanted to mention that structure that was being shown reminds me a lot of one in Hetty Kyle's book called the Blizzard book or the Blizzard
Mhm.
structure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a folded spine
Yeah.
structure that you can stick things in.
Right,
So
yeah.
if you have access to Hetty Kyle Blizzard,
And
Just
oddly
Blizzard.
enough, one of the other lectures is called Non-Sewn Books Inspired by Heidi Kyle's Blizzard book.
well, there you go. That's the one I was
Some
thinking
kind of
about.
modification of that is another one of our classes. Whoa.
There you go.
Like a birthday present, all of this. It's better than a birthday present. Hell. Fantastic. Anybody have anything fun they're going to be doing this week?
I just finished I don't know what this is called, but it's going to be a recipe book for my son's girlfriend. It's a piece of fabric I got in Tuscany. And then I just love the colors of the chicken so much that I thought I'd do that. So now I have to glue the covers on tomorrow, but I just finished sewing it today.
Is that called long? Is that a long stitch? Is that what that is?
You know, I'm not very good with the terms. I don't know. It has a, let me
That's
see, it
lovely.
has kettle stitch on, this is a kettle stitch. And then you thread this so it goes through the ribbon.
Yeah,
So this is
Mhm.
ribbon.
yeah.
It looks real pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Are you giving her
So-
secret family recipes? Wow. Okay, this must be serious then. This is not
Yes.
just a girlfriend. This is
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I'd start now. Maybe I'll have it done by Christmas. Maybe there'll be some reason to do it by Christmas. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Anybody going on a vacation anytime soon?
I just got back from
Oh, I know
Oregon.
what I was gonna mention. So I'm kind of really into pop-ups lately. The last few books, basically, most of my books are interactive, pop-up, something. And so I joined the Movable Book Society.
I'm a member.
And they're out of Denver, and they're having a conference in September. And I really want to go, and this will be my first time out in the world, but I would really like to go because there's conservators and there's paper engineers and other people doing things. It seems really exciting to me. But I thought I would just put that out there that I am now looking at his website. They have small videos on how to do certain pop-ups. And I think the structure of my book is going to have, my cards are going to pop up, and I'll attach them with Velcro in case little tiny, but if I want to, release them. And that's what I've done in the past is I use Velcro to release things.
But little teeny clear dots, sort of.
Yeah, or I take and I just cut it really, really small. So, things stick well. And so if I want to take a card off or something. And, but I thought I would just put that out there for people who might be interested in pop-ups. It's called the Movable Book Society. And we had a workshop that I wasn't able to attend by Sean Sheehy, who is kind of the mastermind behind this society. So
He is a wonderful teacher.
yeah, he is, and he has like a blog type thing, but it's a video where he interviews people and very interesting. And so anyways, a little plug for Sean.
They have some cool things to purchase too. They have this large set of pop-up alphabet greeting cards that are like in this really beautiful box set. One of our members has that and shared that with us, and it's just stunning. I've been a member for a couple of years.
Oh.
They give members only access to a whole lot of this online because it's all online right now, pretty much. So I would imagine they'll continue to do things online because it's a very effective way, I think, to show books instead of just photos, because you can actually flip, and see someone's hands and interacting with it and stuff. So it seems to be an interesting way. They're a good group. I like them. Yeah. I do a lot of flag book structures.
This is one of their annual
Yeah.
alphabet.
Yeah, that's a good one. I have one of those.
Different people, I think do each page, so they're all
fun.
interesting in how they're done. And they usually have, I think they have, aren't they, did you get an email, Lisa, that they're having a Zoom show where they're going to show a lot of this that's coming up or soon or something?
You can join the conference virtually if you don't want to attend in person.
Mm.
I'm looking because we did just get an email. What was that?
So right before this Zoom, I got a little 2-minute how to do an infinity loop.
Hmm.
Oh, look how
I
fun.
was playing with the infinity loop and I was thinking, now, okay, how could I add to that, you know?
Cool.
I can't seem to see it.
It's so unbelievable what those paper engineers can do. You know, I've seen this book. I thought I had one of Sheehy's, but I didn't find it really quickly. But there's a book on Alice in Wonderland, for instance.
Yes,
You seen that one? It's
Yes.
unbelievable.
it
Yeah.
is. And there's a structure in there that I think I'm going to be able to use for the postcard thing.
Wow, I look forward to that.
I'm gonna put in the chat that movable book link. The video footage that they just sent to us a couple of days ago. I just found that email, so I'm just gonna throw that in there. So if you guys want it, you can have that. You can go check that out. That's what she was referring to, and that Sheeny guy is one of the main people in that video.
I need to take off, but it's been great. Glad to
I
see
do
everybody
too.
and to chat and look forward to another meeting closer to when we've all gotten our postcards. So take
I'm
care.
glad it worked out and you were able to figure it out and join us.
Thank you.
Yeah, Julie.
Good chatting with
Bye.
everybody.
Yeah. Good to
Thank
see
you
you.
for setting it up.
No worries.
Yeah,
No
thanks.
problem. We didn't
Yeah.
get a chance to talk about when, but we'll figure out like the next time. And Kat, do you want to chime in when you think you might have some kind of idea for the document?
Yeah, let's see. I think I'll probably have some time this afternoon, so I'll take a look at what Google Docs has available in terms of tracking things and
It's a spreadsheet,
how I
I
can-
would imagine. Yeah.
yeah, there's spreadsheets. There's more things than one would need, not less, which is the embarrassment of riches problem.
All right. Well, everybody have a great rest of the day and
Yes.
get
Thank
cranking
you so
on
much.
cranking out these final postcards. I'm so excited.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for all these great
Thank you.
cards.
Yes,
Good
thank
night.
you.
Thanks, Christina, for organizing.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
for
you.
organizing,
Everybody,
Christina.
thank you.